Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to bring to you Wednesdays for Women. This is a special show where I bring fantastic women from across Assam and maybe across India and the world. And today I have a very, very special friend with me, and she is a very dear friend for me. In fact, she's been very close to me for over the years, and she is very special for me because we have many secrets together. And she's a fantastic, fantastic person. She's Sanjukta Dutta. I warmly welcome you, Sanjukta. Are you there?
Thank you so much. Yes, I am. Am I audible?
Yes. There I see you. I was like wondering all this time, where was this beautiful woman gone? So there I see you. Now I can be more vocal, All this time I wasn't seeing you, so I didn't know what to say. So that's my beautiful friend Sanjukta Dutta. And she's here on my show Wednesdays for Women. And she's a very busy person. I've been asking her to be on my show for a long time. And she says, no, I'm very busy, Tina. I will not be able to come out for that. But then today she's here. Very warm welcome to you. It's my
Thank you
privilege,
so much.
Sanjukta.
It's an
Sanjukta,
honor.
you're here.
It's an honor,
And,
absolute honor.
yes, you deserve so much more. Come on, I'm honored. I'm privileged that you are here. In fact, and friends, let me tell you, Sanjukta Datta, apart from being my wonderful friend, a very, very special friend, we share secrets together. We share very, very terrible, then dirty secrets. And then she's also a wonderful human being. Before we actually go into the show, let me tell you a little story about this wonderful human being that I have in front of me. I was very unwell in November 2019, and then she was there with me all throughout. She did puja for me. She did all kinds of things for me to get me back alive and talking to her right now. Then she came to my house one day in January. And what happened is that in January, what she did was she had taken a taxi from her home and she was coming to my place, and it was pretty cold and I was in bed when she came to see me. And when she arrived, she said, "You know what happened? I saw this lady. She was just in. She was wearing a sari with no warm clothes, and she had a little baby wrapped in her pallu of her sari. And I got down at that very place. I got down and I bought baby food for that little baby. And then the mother was like in a state of awe and shock, and she was wondering what's wrong with this woman, because usually nobody gives a damn about anybody on the streets like that. And here is Sanjita, who gets off her taxi, sees this woman, buys a little baby some baby food, and then comes to my house. This is the human being I love. This is Sanjukta Datta. And apart from that, she's got a wonderful, wonderful profile, and I must read this out for you, my dear friends. You must know about this fantastic human being. Sanjukta Datta is a food enthusiast, and true to her description, she is the most enthusiastic when food is displayed, and more so when she's cooking. Oh my God, you should eat her food. I've been treated like a queen at her place when she treats me to her lovely cuisine. She has been writing about food heroes, documenting lost recipes of her home state, Assam, reviewing restaurants independently for a little over 6 years now. She hosts travelers, bloggers, etc. at her home, and opens her kitchen for fellow learners and admirers of food and culture to showcase the very best of traditional and ethnic Assamese food. She advocates the art of slow cooking and has been relentlessly promoting Assamese cuisine via different platforms like the social media, publishing her recipes and food experiences in newspapers, e-journals, and magazines, etc. She delivers lectures in some premier hotel management institutes of the city, blogs and travels to tell tales of her amazing land of the Blue Hills and the Red River. She has earlier represented Assam in World Heritage Cuisine Summit and Food Festival 2018, which was also held in Amritsar, Punjab in the month of October, where she successfully conducted an Assamese cooking masterclass and cooked side by side with chefs from 40 different countries and chefs across India as well. She recently concluded a 7-day workshop with chefs at ITC Royal Bengal in Kolkata. And she intends, this is her fantastic intention she has, Sanjukta's intention, she intends to bring the very best of Assam and showcase some lost and some surviving recipes of her region, and also showcase some unique cooking methods pertaining to this part of the country, not only in five-star properties, but across every hospitality sector. This is fantastic. I loved reading this out, And yeah, so people, you can see that I've got a fantastic person with us today who's going to speak about food, about reviving the lost recipes of Assam. And of course, she knows it's not only Assam that she knows about. She knows about the entire Northeast. She knows about the whole of India. She will tell you which, and when we need to go eat somewhere, it's always Sanjukta we ask, where do we need to go? If we tell her we're going to this, no, not that place, that's not good enough. So she will actually select the place that we need to go and eat our food. So, Ms. Sanjukta, a very warm welcome once again. My first,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you want to say something, please?
No, I just want to say thank you for such an overwhelming welcome, and especially when a friend introduces you like that on a platform like this, I think it's a little bit embarrassing. But then thank you so much, Tina. You've always been pushing me a lot, and thank you. I'm so happy to be here today talking about the best conversation probably I can have about is about food, and definitely I'm here to share experiences in whatever I can, whatever manner I can.
Yes, sure. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. So you had said something very wonderful in your in the profile that I read out, and you said that you intend to bring the very best of Assam. So how do you plan to do this, Sanjukta? How do you plan to bring the best of Assam? Can you tell us something about this?
See, planning before post the pandemic, the situation that we are in was a little different, and now the planning would be a little different again. But the genre is the same, that we are here to promote our food in maximum number of platforms that we can, and it can be in form of social media, in form of video calls like this, in form of training people who wants to know about this particular region, because we have some amazing ingredients, we have some amazing food scene that is happening here that needs to be just taken out and shown it to bigger platforms. And I think that Assam deserves it. The ingredients that we consume on daily basis deserves a recognition in bigger platforms, so that more and more people get introduced to it and understand that there are some amazing medicinal ingredients, magic ingredients that I always talk about are there, and people are consuming it on daily basis. It needs to be reflected. It needs to go into a scene where the global food eating scene is a is in a bigger purview, where people learn more and more about culture. So this is the whole idea, that Assam deserves it. It needs to be carried out, and I think I have taken this responsibility, and I really would want to showcase the food that we all connect to in bigger platforms, and talk about it as much as we can.
Wow, that's fantastic. Fantastic. So, yeah, so this is your effort. And as you said that Assam has a lot of indigenous, a lot of things which are very, essential, very important, and very, they are rich in nutrients. And now with the COVID thing happening, with this COVID situation that we are in, people are talking about immunity, people are talking about building their strength, and people are talking about many things. But then, I have noticed one thing, that people tend to go more for exotic stuff, but they still do not know that we have these things right there, maybe in our backyard, maybe in anywhere in our homes, but they still do not know about it. Like one thing that I remember a lot of it, and that was during my pregnancy. During my pregnancy time, my husband used to give me bhedai lota. So I don't know what you call that in English. You would be knowing the actual terms. You know all the terms like in English and Assamese. So I know it only as bhedai lota. So bhedai lota is that pungent that leaf, that thing. Yes. So can you tell us about how important bhedai lota is? Okay. So I think it's really good.
So before I speak about this particular ingredient, let me speak about a little bit about immunity. because people have been using this terminology a lot, and especially during this time in our life, we have been using this word like on a daily basis, multiple times on daily basis. But what exactly is immunity? It's very simple. It's your body which is fighting against the antibodies, things that we don't want in our system, and the stronger your immunity is, the more you'll be able to chase these antibodies away. Now, if you look at it, there are certain food elements, ingredients, which can help you boost the immunity to fight these antibodies in form of flu, influenzas, or viruses. Now, the body needs to be on regular basis, needs to be checked, from time and time again, that whether our system is, able enough to protect ourselves from these invasion of antibodies. How do we check it? So if you just go back a few years, flip a few years of your page, and you go back to your mom and dad's time, there would be time when your mom and dad would persuade you to eat few things like few greens, a few interesting vegetables in your plate, and they would persuade us to eat it. Hani putuki khailua
Yes, yes.
is a terminology that we would always be subjected to. We would not like the taste of it, so the best way to crop that the whole experience, our parents would tell us hani putuki khailua. Now hani putuki khailua is, again, you just mix everything together and you put it in your mouth and you gulp it down with a little bit of water. So the whole idea is that the herbs needs to go into your system so that it works and you're prepared for the upcoming viruses, the attack of viruses, flu, influenza, whatever it's there in air. Now, coming back to your question, bhedai lota, yes, of course, it's a magic ingredient. I love bhedai lota, though the smell is offending when it's raw. It is commonly known as the skunk vine. Now,
Oh,
skunk vine is, again, it's a forage. We don't grow them typically
no.
like we grow our coriander, we grow our our other vegetables. We don't grow them. It forages nije nije hoy ekhini bostu jongolor mazot. You just go and you find it, you figure it out. Okay, that's some bhedai lota, growing in wild, and we forage it. We've just plucked them and we bring home and we make several things out of it. Like I remember you telling me about a very interesting dish that Muvinda used to cook for
Yes,
you,
yes.
and that is the bhedai lota cake. And that
Yes,
has
yes.
been like, yeah, it has been there in top of my mind that, it's such an interesting thing that could be done with bhedai lota. The only thing is that it needs to be consumed. And the saddest part is that the younger generation have somehow not been able to develop a taste for bhedai lota. And that is,
Yes.
the sad part is that we have to be blamed actually. If you look at a bigger picture, we have to be blamed. We have never introduced them to these very interesting and so loaded, power packed ingredients that grows in wild. It doesn't need much care. You don't really need to invest a lot of time of yours, while they just come up on their own. And
Right.
these kind of medicinal plants go ignored, completely ignored by us. There are a lot of other things attached to it. Could be your lifestyle. We are very busy now. We have multiple set of work to do. Children have less time to sit in the dining table and see exactly what is being served in front of them. You know, the faster they can eat is more they can perform, is what we also think. And we think that the whole idea of sitting in the dining table, reflecting to what exactly you are eating and how much you are eating, has taken a back seat because now we don't have that kind of time. The kids have tuitions, they have classes to attend, they have their extracurricular activities to look upon. So for us, spending more time in the dining table with a plate of food in front of you is actually a waste of time. This is what we have told them somehow, and it
Mm.
has gone into their heads, into their system, and they don't want to waste their time. If you look at our children eating today, they don't even chew properly. It's
Yes.
just stuffing inside your mouth and gulping it all down. So these are some sad things, sad things happening in terms of eating, and it needs to be changed. It won't change overnight, and it needs a gradual change. Probably we can introduce them with our local food every week, say one day dedicated week in the week. We as moms and dads, as parents, we can probably present our culture in form of food to our children at least once a week, and
Yes.
give them the food that is ours, that is indigenous to us, and which is very local, and which is very, very easy to make, which is very easy to digest, which is highly medicinal. It needs to be there in their plates. It needs to be reintroduced to them. We need to tell them why they're consuming it, and we need to tell them what is the benefit that they're going to get out of it. And I think step by step, gradually, the respect will start coming in again, the way our grandparents and our ancestors used to respect our ingredients. Probably that bit would come back again, and we will be able to reconnect our future generation with food that we all know of, and we all connect, as a bigger culture, or as a state, or as a region in as a whole.
Right. Sanjukta, when you say that, we are at fault for not, for our children not knowing about these traditional food and, our traditional food. I mean, I'm talking about Assamese food per se. So when you say that we are at fault, we are actually at fault because, we tend to do this jhatpat khana. We say that, no, we need to go out to work. So quickly, let us make some dal, let us make some rice, and then that's it. But my mother, I still remember every Sunday, she used to make sure there was khar, there was aloo pitika, and then there used to be a hak, there used to be some greens with it. And she used to make sure it was a typical Assamese lunch that we had together. So I think we are at fault. You're totally, totally right about this.
Absolutely,
You're
absolutely.
totally
We
right
are at
about
fault. I completely take the onus on us, actually. I don't know how much of us will agree to it, but I completely take the whole blame on me for not being able to, introduce our local ingredients in form of food to our children and make it equally exciting for them. For them, exciting food would be junk food, which is highly available outside over the counter, where you don't waste much time of yours, and you go and grab some food and dump it on plates, and we serve it to them. And the way they consume it with a lot of love and affection, and the connection that we see with the plate of French fries and the children today, I think we need to establish and build up a connection between our local food and our children in the same manner. It is going to take time because we have done a lot of damage already. So
it. Right.
the damage control will take a lot of time. But I think this is the best time to reflect on all the mistakes that we did in terms of food, and try to lessen the gap. The gap is huge, but here we can try one day at a time, one step at a time, and try and reintroduce and tell them stories, form of stories. When we, like, you always tell me that whenever you serve me food, Sanjukta, you have a story around that food. I think that
Yes.
makes the food very interesting. I mean, why are we consuming it? The most important thing is why. We need to know the answer. Why are we consuming it? I mean, a plate of bhedai lotar jhool in local mass, with local fish, I think you need to have a story around it. I mean, otherwise, it doesn't look appealing. It doesn't look really good. It doesn't smell very nice. Um, you need to have a very nice story spun around it so that children connect to it, and then consuming it becomes easier. And once they consume it and they understand that this is what I'm going to get the benefit out of this, and which their body and their immune system will reflect in a few weeks time, they'll also understand that this is the immunity building food, these are strength building food, these are important for all the vitamins that we suffer, deficiencies that we suffer from. These are the ingredients that connects everything and makes you strong. You need to consume them. We need to respect that, and we need to build a story around it.
And I think, Sanjukta, our children are very good. This generation that we talk about, this generation X that we call the rock star generation that I call, these people are actually very good people. If you tell them, if you explain things to them about how good this food is for them, for their body, for their immune system, for their muscle building and everything, they listen. They listen to you. They're very obedient. We used to be like, no, we don't want to have our greens. We don't want to have the gajar and all these kind of things. I remember doing that with my mother. And I remember I was quite disobedient at times, when she used to put that plate of with a lot of vegetables. And I still remember she used to put carrot and beetroot and beans. And she used to say, "Doya isna ke khai diya, son. Doya isna ke khai diya. Have it like your medicine. Because once you have it like your medicine, you don't have to rely on medicines later on in life." She always used to tell me this. So now when I tell my little boy about how good khar and tenga and everything is, so he understands. He completely understands. And then he has given up on his, fast food, because he knows this is going to make him it's going to make him weaker, it's going to make him fatter, it's going to make him unhealthy. So he completely understands this. So yeah, we were talking about different kinds of herbs. I have another very some of the herbs that I know of is manimuni hak. Manimuni hak is an excellent hak. I think this really is very tasty as well. So could you throw some light on manimuni hak?
Yes,
What is it called in English? Again, I don't know the English name for that.
It is one of my favorite herbs. Mani muni again is a very underrated, but it's highly medicinal. And when we're talking about immunity today, we cannot miss on mani muni. Mani muni again is a immunity building herb. And again, they grow on wild. You really don't have to cultivate them. Comes in two varieties, smaller leaves and bigger leaves. These are known as Asian pennyworth, and can be consumed raw, can be made into, you can blend it all together, or you can use your the motor pestle and make it into a fine paste and then make a gravy out of it. I put it in my salads whenever I make a salad. If I'm making a whole salad, there was a mani muni salad that has been put up in a 5-star property again. So when we talk about these salads and our local salad jikini hoy, just throw a bunch of mani muni, chop it a little bit. They're very crunchy, very tasty, and again very very healthy. And for immunity building, it is considered to be a #1 medicine. So yes, the right amount of mani muni hak, if we can give to our children, and also we consume it on a regular basis. We can fight a lot of viruses, we can fight a lot of ailments that we really don't want in our lives at the moment, and it's there, right there in front of you. You can grow them in a pot, you can grow them, you can just throw some in your terrace, maybe, if you have a garden, maybe somewhere in between your grasses, you can see these foraging on its own. So Asian pennyworth again is a very, very highly medicinal plant. It needs to be consumed. It needs to be recognized. And like when I tell you that, people need to know about these medicines, these herbs. It needs to be known in a format that these are magic ingredients, Whereas in one side, we are buying super expensive medicines, as our vitamin intake, as our mineral intake, because the food is not sufficient enough, and we know that our body needs these extra vitamins and minerals, and your fiber, etc. These are already there, right there outside our doorstep. The moment you open your door and you're in your garden, it's right there, growing with your grass, growing in wild and in plenty. So just what we are born with, the deficiencies that we are born with, the answers are there, right there in the nature. And Mother Nature for Assam has been such spectacular that every kind of ailment that we go through, that this region has, especially I'm talking about region-wise ailments. Now, Assam has ailments like we suffer from vitamin C deficiency, which is an inborn thing. The system needs vitamin C. Now, if you look at our fruits and our vegetables and our herbs, nature has already provided us with such ingredients that are high in vitamin C. So all you have to do is consume it and balance it. So Mother Nature for me has balanced everything. It's all that we need is to re-recognize them and start consuming it, start using, because we have consumed them. We know about these medicinal herbs and vegetables. We know about it. Our ancestors, our grandparents, and our parents have made us consume them. The only thing it needs is we have to just re-establish our confidence again back to these local ingredients and start consuming, and carry it forward to our younger generation. Like you said, the generation X, Y, Z that we call them, the rockstar generation. Yes, these are the kids who listen to us, is because when you give them reason, they need reasoning. And
Yes.
when you give them reason, they accept it, because the only thing that they need is reasoning, a proper answer to all the questions that they have in their heads. The moment you give them an answer to that,
Yes.
they accept it. Of course, yes, they're not like us. We've been rebels. We have been, we have, we have grown up not listening to our elders. We don't want to consume our, our carrots and our beans and everything. But these are the children who, if you give them a perfect reasoning, will listen to it. And I completely agree and endorse your statement that they listen to us. You
Yes.
moment you give them a proper analysis, a proper answer to their questions, they listen to us.
Yes, true. And I think you will comment on this, since you are you are kind of reintroducing Assamese food again to the whole world. You are, through your blogs, through your writings, through your all the time you're writing, you're introducing different recipes and all that. So wouldn't you say that a plate of Assamese food, the khar, the tenga, the pitika, and everything that, and the greens put together, is the best kind of it's the best kind of food for us right now? What would you say about that?
Of course, yes. I mean, as an Assamese, I would always want to say that, the thali, the Assamese thali that we have in front of us is the best food. But if you look at it scientifically also, where we write journals and we talk about umami flavor, we talk about, your proper balance of all the flavors. We talk about this, we read journals about it, we see people researching on umami flavors and all. But right here in front of us, on a daily basis, we consume umami. The
Mm.
right amount of bitter, the right amount of sour, the right amount of sweet, the right amount of astringent in form of khar. We consume it. It's a perfect balance of food. The khar is our palate cleanser. It cleanses our palate. It prepares our palate for the rest of the things that is going to follow. In form of protein, in form of meat. Then comes your fish. Um, the the tenga, the sour at the end. And in between, we have another immunity boosting ingredient that we completely tend to ignore these days, are our pani tenga and our kharoli. Um,
Mm.
uh, these are
Yes.
very, very important ingredients in your plate. It's not
Even
there.
even Tita Kerala. Tita Kerala is also.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
My
And
mom used to give me a bit of Tita Kerala and used to give me my rice and say that have it before you have anything else. Honey pe
exactly.
khaila. She used to say honey
Honey
pe
putu ki khabar.
honey
Honey
pe
putu ki
khaila.
khabar. Yes,
Mm.
yes. Now, if we see our, our generation, like even like people from people within our age group, do not really have a palate for bitter food.
Right.
We ignore our tita Kerala, we ignore our bhekuri tita, we ignore our bahek, which is the tita
Mm.
pool again. We ignore our neem pat. We ignore our titas, but the balance of everything, you can't be consuming everything. Food the whole food journey, the lunch or the dinner that we talk about, is about how you're balancing the flavors. The correct amount of tita in your afternoon along with the correct amount of tenga. you know
Mhm.
it's all about how we're balancing it. The right hand, a morsel of tita and a morsel of tenga, a morsel of meetha maybe. Everything will work together to build up the immune system. So you can't be saying I only will eat my tita and I'll forget about my tenga. Again, it's imbalance. You're not balancing your food, the intake that we are doing, the consumption that we are doing. So here we need to
No.
understand that why we've been told honey putuki sop hua.
Mhm.
Honey putuki, it's a balance. You're creating the balance and you're consuming it so that it helps you fight it, build up your immune system, and fight various ailments. So right amount of tita, whether in form of tita Kerala you're eating, whether in form of neem pat that we are consuming, or our bhikuri tita, or our bed gas. We don't talk about bed
Very
gas
good. Yes.
at
Yes,
all.
yes,
It's such
absolutely.
a sad thing. So
Hmm.
when I speak to my counterparts outside the state or outside the country, and we tell them that we consume cane, and the surprise that we get to see on the faces is so interesting.
I
We
know.
consume it, and this is one of the very important ingredient that we require to this is the best blood purifying agent that you can ever find. Consume your bed gas, consume your tita kerala or neem pat or bhekuri tita. It's so important. It's right there outside. You really don't need to grow your bhekuri tita. I have always seen bhekuri tita growing wild in my daddy's garden, and we would just pluck a few and put it in our soka and fire roast it, and make a mash out of it, and we just consume, pop it in our mouth and gulp it because the system needs it.
Mm.
So we really have to respect the fact that food. The objective of food is not always on the tongue. The objective of food is needs to go inside your body so that it helps your system build up immunity so that you can fight against various ailments. And we are talking about immunity these days. So these are the magic ingredients that you need to again reconsider and go back to, because Mother Nature already has them in front of us. The answer is right there outside our door. The only thing is that we have to reconnect with these ingredients and start consuming them.
Yes, as you say this, that, it's not only for the mouth, but it's for the entire system. I remember when I was carrying Tyrus, and then Mubin used to tell me that, whatever you're eating, you're not eating for yourself, but you're eating for the little baby. And I'm giving you this particular ingredient, and this is for the baby's hair. And whatever I'm giving you is for the baby's body. So you are not going to say no to it. You're going to say yes to everything, because I'm giving you all the good stuff. So you don't even have to worry about it. I'm giving you all the local stuff, so you don't worry about this. So he was like, he used to be very careful about what he gave me. And these were all, these indigenous stuff that we have in the state itself.
Right.
So yes. So the other thing that, a lot of people are consuming these days, and a lot of things that I'm doing that too. I'm having a lot of moringa, but I'm not having it in the leaf form. I'm having it in the powder powder form. And then I'm also having satavar. I'm having ashwagandha. So I would like you to tell the viewers how important these ingredients are. These are very, very important, for us. And what would be the English names for these? I'm telling you the names. Yeah.
Moringa is moringa, and it is a superfood. It has been considered and declared a superfood way back in 2010-12. I'm not very sure about the year, but it has been considered as a superfood. And once again, these are evergreen trees. They don't need much of your space, and could be cultivated anywhere, could be grown anywhere. And Assam, again, if you look at the soil, we are so rich in our soil that whatever you plant, it just grows. Remember
moringa in Assamese? What is moringa?
Sojina.
Yes.
So the whole tree itself is very, very medicinal, highly medicinal. Like we talk about superfood, we talk about ragi, we talk about other various ingredients, millets, no?
Yes, millets and all this stuff, yeah.
Yes. So we speak about, the more focus is on ragi, the more focus is on millet, which is absolutely spectacular ingredients. But the ingredient that is right there in your region is sojina, moringa, and has been declared a superfood long time back. So we need to understand, how do we consume sojina? Do we only consume the fruit, the vegetable that grows in the tree, or can we use the leaves? Can we use the flowers that grows? We can consume everything. It is such a medicinal tree. You can pluck the leaves, dry them, and make it into a powder, the one that you're consuming, powder form. Use it in your dal. You can use it while you're kneading your atta. It can be consumed many ways. You can put it in your vegetable juice or fruit juice that you squeeze out for yourself, and probably a spoonful of moringa powder with it. It is again a very, very big, and it's one of these healthiest ingredients that you can probably use in terms of consumption again. And it is a big immunity booster. Like, why is it called a superfood? Because it has everything in it. I mean, you really need not need any kind of other format of supplements in form of synthetic medicines or anything at all. It has It has fiber, it has all the vitamins, the minerals, everything. So again, how we consume it, in form of the vegetable, in form of um, the flowers being cooked, stir fried. I personally love the flowers, collect the flowers, and I dry, just fry a little bit in mustard oil, and crack an egg into it, and it is just probably a spoonful of it is more than enough. You really would not want to go back to your other medications or medicines that you've been consuming to supplement your vitamin deficiency, your mineral deficiency, or anything at all. These are superfoods. You really need to go back to them.
Yes, and we were also talking about ashwagandha. Ashwagandha, what is ashwagandha like, and what is satavar?
I am not very sure of what ashwagandha is called in
Oh, in
English,
English.
what English terminology it has. But again, ashwagandha, these are Ayurveda speaks a lot about ashwagandha, and Ayurveda recommends female to consume ashwagandha for many reasons. It helps you, especially women who have delivered a child, a baby. Your internal organs are being healed. That's what um, our parents would tell you about ashwagandha. And I remember consuming ashwagandha as a young mother, when my first child was born. And I think that was one of the medicines that I took. And it would be very interesting for me to share a small incident that I had with my firstborn. Both my children are delivered normally. My firstborn was a naturally delivered child. With the secondborn, the pain had to be induced. So I couldn't deliver him naturally, but he was a normally delivered child. But the first one was a naturally delivered baby. So my doctor, when saw that the baby was born naturally, he did not recommend me anything at all. He recommended me ashwagandha. He recommended me iron, iron supplement, but he
Oh,
didn't really prescribe me any medicines. He asked me to consume the wild banana flower, and I consumed that as in lieu of iron supplement, and it worked. Within 2 weeks, I could feel that I'm healing from inside. I'm more energetic. So that is when I went back to my dad has pretty fair knowledge about herbs and medicine, ayurvedic medicine. So when I said that I'm consuming ashwagandha, I said that this is probably the best medicine any female can have. It
wow.
strengthens your internal organs. It If there are any kind of fractures, it cures it. So ashwagandha with little bit of local turmeric, if you have, I think it boosts your immunity. It heals your internal ruptures or any kind of injuries that you might have had because of anything, any reason. So yes, ashwagandha had been highly recommended by um, Ayurvedic exponents, people who speak about Ayurvedic medicines and all. And I think Mubinda has fair knowledge about local
Yes, yes, he does.
Ayurvedic medicine. So I'm definitely sure that he gave it to you on purpose, so that if there are any kind of internal injuries or any kind of internal ruptures, it it heals. So ashwagandha kotha ami, when we talk about in Ayurveda, in early days, when our kings would go for wars and all, ashwagandha is something that they would carry with them, because যদি কিবা internal injury হৈছে, internal bleeding হৈছে, it can heal them. It can cure them of these ailments that we can't see from
Mhm.
outside, but your probably your organ, a couple of organs need that attention, is what ashwagandha does. So fantastic on you, Tina, if you're consuming these.
I am. I am
Um,
consuming moringa, ashwagandha, and satavar. Satavar is another thing that Mubin says is very, very good for a woman, because as she grows older, there are many things that happen within her. So it's very important to have satavar. And after having satavar, after my incident, which has happened in November,
mm,
I have
uh,
kind of, I don't know, become stronger. My strength has improved, and I've become a much stronger person.
that's the
Uh,
fun part, you know, that's the best
so
part
yeah,
about.
Sanjukta, let me also tell you about. Yes,
I
you're
can't
telling
hear
me
you.
something.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay.
So that's
So yeah,
I was saying is that that's the best part about local ingredients, the consumption of local
yes,
ingredients. The more you consume it, you start getting results. You know, it doesn't take much of a time, you know, to get good results, and then you see them. You see how your system has accepted those ingredients that you're consuming. I mean, your system has accepted the fact that you're consuming ashwagandha, you're consuming moringa, you're consuming local varieties of food on daily basis. You feel that you feel you're regaining your strength. It's helping you build up strength in form of muscle or in form of, you know, your immunity or metabolism. The answer is there, and you start getting those results on daily basis. When you do a comparative study, you feel more the excited, and you know, you feel very happy that you reconnected with these ingredients again. You know, these are very, very powerful, and it really reflects on our health.
true. Uh, just to tell you something more, I have just written a couple of these names, and which I really like. I think Modhu Huleng is another hack. Modhu Huleng. Then Hukoloti is also Pachauli, I think.
Yes.
And then Mosondori. Mosondori
Uh-huh.
is another thing. Then, of course, Otenga. Otenga is my favorite. And Otenga is something that we can, I've seen Mubin keeping it in the room. I don't know why he does that. You know, he says that it's going to take away the virus or something. I don't know what he says, but then we've got an Otega in our bedroom, and then we have this Thekera. Thekera is very good. I think Thekera is
Yes.
excellent because I
Yes.
remember any time I used to have a stomach ache, my mother never gave me any medicine. She would just put some Thekera in warm water, and then she would pour me a glass of that, and I would have a glass of
Absolutely.
Thekera pani. And after
Ab-
that, my tummy would be absolutely fine. You know, Thekera pani. And so we have Purana Thekera, Kuji Thekera. We have this at home, and this is like in both my homes. At my dad's home and my home, I have it in both the places. And Thekera is something we swear by. Then
yeah.
the thing is hot mul. That is Satavari. Sorry, I got the name. Satavari is a hot mul actually.
Hot
And,
meal.
and then these minor fruits that are very good and which is very available in Assam. I think you will agree to this. Is gooseberry.
Yeah, I'm looking. Yes,
Amlokhi.
absolutely.
Amlokhi.
Yes.
Amlokhi.
Yes.
Something I'm sure you remember when your mom used to tell you upon Nimok Lepla, you have it. I mean, we used to pick up those amlokhis and we used to have it all the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We used
Yes.
to have it all the
Yes.
time, and now we've stopped having it because we have no time to have these
No
wonderful
time.
ones.
No time. That's saddest part.
And my mom, I remember we used to have Purana Amlokhi in a bottle. She used to just put in a jar, and then
Preserve it.
she used to put some salt and a
Salt.
little bit of salt, and just put it out in the. And then anytime we want to have it, we used to have it with her rice or any kind. Anytime we want to have it, she should just say, if you think, just chew on one of those amlokhis, the gooseberry. And the other thing that is growing a lot in my garden, in my dad's place, is star fruit.
Yes.
Star fruit
Corduroy.
is very good. Cordoy is very good. And then poniol, Mubin's favorite.
Do
Mubin's
we get
favorite.
to see poniol these days? We don't
And
get
we
to see
don't.
poniol. We don't get to see poniol these days. But I have some very fond memories of my Aita's poniol tree. You know, she had a poniol gauze right behind her kitchen. So she would grow some very interesting vegetables, and along with it, there was a poniol tree, which was like the lone standing tree right outside her kitchen. And we remember as young, you know, children, as young kids, we would stand there and try to grab poniol, and অলপমান কাঁইট থকা গছ হয়, কাঁইটীয়া গছ, and we would just try not to, you know, uh, injure ourselves and get hold of poniol, and we'd just rub between our palm the poniol, and once it's like mushy, we consume it.
Yes.
But we hardly get to see poniol these days. And the
Yes.
the the herbs that you have mentioned, of course, if we are talking about immunity and we don't talk about amlokhi, it would be an incomplete session. It is such an important and amazing, wonderful, fruit, whatever you call it. It's an amazing ingredient. I try and use the local variety of amlokhi that I get to see. If I see them in local markets, I buy them. I consume it that just like that. I try and preserve it and make a soup out of it and give it to my kids in small bowls, And if they're not consuming the soup, I make a masa or tenga out of amlokhi. But somehow, I have always retained the fact that we need to consume amlokhi, and amlokhi is consumed at least 3 months of my total. In a whole year, we consume at least 3 months. No, the amlokhi we consume it for at least 3 months, and wish we could get those local varieties throughout the year, but we don't. The smaller varieties, the hybrid ones have taken over the market, and that is again a very sad picture. It doesn't yield you that result. It doesn't have those the vitamin C that we look in our that the local gooseberry carries. Star fruit, yes, I remember consuming star fruit just like that, with mass, with make it a fish thing out of it, or just smoke it and make a chutney out of it, or you preserve it, make it into a achar. And we have always been consuming this. We literally grew up consuming this. Now the
Yes.
time is that we really can't, let go of these interesting and highly medicinal ingredients just like that, because we may not have time for it, or maybe our lifestyles have changed. Everything can go together. This is what I try and tell everyone. Everything can go together. Your lifestyle can go the way it is. All you just need is to fuse your um, local ingredients into how you consume it daily, because they're right. The way we can use it are various. You can just add it to your salads. You can just make a nice patla jhol out of it and have with your fish. But just let's start using it, reusing these ingredients again. Modu hulang again is so aromatic and such an amazing herb. We don't consume them because we don't see them, and if we see them, we don't recognize it anymore. So
So
one
are
thing,
you saying that these things, are slowly disappearing from our lives, or are they disappearing from the, as a plant, or as a indigenous crop? Is it disappearing like that,
it is
or
not. It is not. See,
it's
again,
there? It's there.
it's
So
there. It's
we
there
don't have to worry. We don't have to worry that it's disappearing. We
that
just
it's
have to
going
go
to
search
disappear.
for the, yeah.
Yes. And there would be people who would probably not agree with me that, these have started vanishing out of our kitchens. But yes, to a larger extent, these things have started disappearing from our kitchens, because Sundays are no longer, those Sundays that we used to live, where there would be an elaborate preparation of food, and then we would lavishly sit in our dining table and, enjoy a big hearty lunch with our family, and, consume everything that is there that we have lagged behind the week. Probably on a Monday we forgot our car, we didn't eat our car. So whatever we lacked on that entire week, we bridge that gap on a Sunday. And Sundays were always meant for elaborate preparation of lunch. But now this
Very,
one part
very.
is gone. We no longer, we've mixed our food. We've mixed our food. Like a lot of people have recently in my recent conversation with them with about food have said that, so you're against bread. I'm like, I'm not against bread. I am totally not against bread, and I love baking bread. But what I'm trying to say here is that it's something that we probably need to reflect, is that 7 days a week we do not need a bread. We do not need bread 7 days a week. I mean, this region has more things to explore than just store-bought bread. We have varieties of local eggs. We don't do anything about them. We don't do anything. You would hardly see people promoting chicken eggs. The local farm or chicken eggs, local chicken eggs. We hardly see people talking about it. Such high in protein, and it's local. So the chances of contamination, the chances of it being mixed is so less, because it's local. um, we need to see these things, and we need to understand that, are we consuming them Are we only talking about promoting local things in our social medias or in bigger meetings? Where it's so nice to hear, but in reality, what we are doing is we have completely westernized ourselves when it comes to consumption. So it has
True.
to be a balance of both. You know, what you're consuming needs to be local, and then you can probably say that, you know, you're very, very vocal about local. We really don't need to shout that, you know, we need local stuff, we need to go local. The moment you start bringing in local stuff into your household and back into your kitchens, you're already being vocal about local. So without saying a word, you've already started promoting your local ingredients, your local farmers, the local markets that are disappearing, your hat and bazaar that are disappearing rapidly. So the ingredients are there,
Mm.
still very, very much available. You know, the only thing is that we don't go there because A, we don't have the time. B, over the years we have stopped recognizing these ingredients, so we don't know what and how they are consumed. And in return, what we are doing is we are completely systematically, you know, probably culling off our local heart and markets where these ingredients are available. You know, that is one sad part.
Mhm.
So probably once a month we need to dedicate ourselves in relearning these about these ingredients. One, and at least going to a local hat and bazaar and buy local ingredients and vegetables from our local farmers. You know, that way we will completely see that probably they'll again revive back, they'll come back again with their local ingredients because they have consumers back here in the city. And this is so important. It's chain reaction, you know. It's a whole series of things. It's chain reaction. আমি খাই আছো আর আমি যদি খাই থাকিম, you know, we we guarantee that, you know, your ingredients will be consumed by us on weekly basis, on monthly basis.
Mm.
It's so important because these hat bazaars are not just mere hat and bazaar. You know, these are institutions which stores your local ingredients, where you can go and learn about your local ingredients right under one roof. You know, just a stroll around your local bazaar, you end up learning and you come back fully loaded with information that probably will stay back in your head, and you start using those. So I call these local hat bazaars as an institution. It won't be wrong to say that.
Absolutely. You've said it in such a beautiful way. I mean, I could just go on listening to you for hours, and I'm sure whoever's listening to you right now, we're live streaming this, and I'm sure they must have really, really kind of benefited from what you have said.
I hope
And
so. I hope so.
hope and I really hope they do this, whatever you're saying. This, I love this idea of yours that, we go out once a month to the local hat bazaars and we know what are our local ingredients. I think, and taking our children along would
Yes,
be a grand idea,
yes, yes.
and then you would say that this hack is this is this, this is so and so, this is so and so, so that we can introduce them to the local flavor. It's our fault totally, because as mothers, as fathers, we are not introducing them to the local stuff. But thanks to the Almighty, thanks to the universe, that my husband is a very local person, so he will go to a local hat bazaar, he will get us local stuff, and he'll
I
make sure that he makes all that stuff.
I absolutely would agree, because whatever conversation I had with Movinda till date, I think 90% of it was always about local food and, you know, how to cook these local food at homes, and we would be just conversing about ingredients, interesting things. And you know, we that is the whole idea. That is how what I would want to, let's promote it in that way, that whenever we sit together, we we dedicate some time of
Yeah.
ours and exchange, knowledge that we have. You might have very interesting idea about a local ingredient. You can come and discuss that this is what I have done. And I think that is what the whole idea is. We need to talk about our local ingredients before we take it out to bigger platforms, to bigger nations, or to bigger spectrum as a whole. We really need is to self-educate ourselves that these are there and these are available and this is how it is consumed. Because once we do it, in a small way, it becomes, like এটা যে কবিতা আছিল, আমি এটা যে পঢ়িছিলো, মনত আছে নে বাৰু দিনা তোমাৰ, এটুপ এটুপ কৰি বৰষুণৰ পানী পৰি ভৰি
Oh,
গল বহল সাগৰ, কণ
yeah.
কণ বালি হিতে হিতে লগ লাগি সাজি দিলে ধৰণী ডাঙৰ. So
Oh,
I think it is something like that. We have to start small, start reconnecting with our local ingredients and be very, very vocal about it. Start consuming it, reintroduce it to our children, make it a regular habit, help them to form it a habit that they choose, probably a moduleng, or they choose bhedai lota over French fries or any kind of form of aerated drink. Let's pledge on that, and let's see. I mean, of course, it's a huge task, but the start is necessary. That's all I believe in.
On that note, I'm going to start from today. I'm going to make this my mantra, that I'm going to promote everything local. I'm going to start having local food, and I'm going to make sure I bring back those Sundays that my mom used to had gifted me. Those beautiful
Absolutely.
Sunday Assamese lunches that she used to gift me. I think I'm going to gift the same to my son, so that at least he'll never say that, oh, you never treated me to this, what is this? And I hope he doesn't come up with, what is this? Oh, it's car. I don't know what's car. Suppose he sends me this, and I'm done. I'm gone. I mean, I'll be the most unsuccessful mother ever.
True.
But, Chitra, it's been a pleasure talking to a knowledge house, a powerhouse like you, because I know that you prepare, you absolutely, decorate this tiramisu for us. And at the same time, you talk about this wonderful, promotion of local food. And who better and who best than you to actually say all this to us? Thank you so much, for coming on my
Thank
show,
you.
Wednesdays for
It
Women.
was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. It was an honor, and it's always fun to talk about local food. So
Yes,
the pleasure was mine.
and we will promote local food on that note.
Absolutely,
Let's
absolutely.
start. Thank you,
Thank you
Sanjukta,
so much.
so much.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.